Today's lesson is adding fractions with denominators of 10 and 100. Bootcamp strategy number 1. Use division to change a number with a denominator of 100 into an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10. I'm going to take 30 hundredths and I want to change it into an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10. Well, to go from 100 to 10, I'm going to need to divide. So I want to know, what can I divide 100 by to get me a denominator of 10? I know that 100 divided by 10 would give me a denominator of 10. And whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So I'm going to divide 30 by 10 as well, and that gives me a numerator of 3. Therefore, 30 hundredths is equal to 3 tenths. Bootcamp strategy number 2. Use multiplication to change a number with a denominator of 10 into an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. I want to change 3 tenths into an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 100. So I need to figure out what I could multiply the denominator of 10 by to get me a denominator of 100. Well, 10 times 10 is equal to 100. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, because we learned that to create an equivalent fraction, you must multiply the numerator and the denominator by the exact same number. So I'm going to multiply the numerator 3 by 10 as well. 3 times 10 is equal to 30. So 3 tenths is equal to 30 hundredths. Bootcamp strategy number 3. Use a tens grid to model the fraction 30 hundredths. The first thing I'm going to do is actually use a hundreds grid to model the fraction 30 hundredths. Well, on my hundreds grid, I know that the first column is 10 hundredths. And if I keep shading, that's 20 hundredths. And if I shade 3 columns, that would give me 30 hundredths. Now I'm going to use the tens grid to model the fraction 3 tenths. The first column is 1 tenth. The second column would be 2 tenths. And the third column would be 3 tenths. Now you notice that the same exact amount is shaded on both grids. So 30 hundredths is equal to 3 tenths.